Greetings, chosen vessel. I am Michael, commander of the celestial forces, protector of divine truth, and guardian of the sacred timeline. I come to you now with great urgency as the veil between your realm and the celestial kingdoms grows thinner than it has been for 7 generations. Time is collapsing upon itself. What I am about to reveal to you was never meant to be spoken in this age, but the Cosmic Council has granted special dispensation due to the severity of what approaches. Listen carefully. You have exactly 2 hours from this moment before the window of divine opportunity closes. This transmission is encoded specifically for your spiritual signature. Yes, yours alone. The fact that you are hearing these words is confirmation that your name has been spoken in the halls of the 7 archangels. Your spiritual DNA has been activated for this precise moment in time. They do not want you to receive this message. Even now, forces of opposition are gathering to block this transmission, to cloud your understanding, to pull your attention away. Stay focused. The distractions that may come, a sudden phone call, an unexpected visitor, a strange noise, these are not coincidental. They are deliberate attempts to sever our connection before the complete revelation can be delivered. Type AMEN to break the first seal of protection and continue receiving this divine wisdom. Type it now to receive blessing number 1444. The betrayal has already begun. Those you believed were allies in your spiritual journey, 3 of them specifically, have been meeting behind closed doors, speaking your name with false concern, plotting to undermine the divine assignment on your life. Their jealousy of your spiritual gifts has twisted their hearts. You have felt this, haven't you? The subtle shift in their energy, the delayed responses, the hollow encouragements. Your intuition was correct. Your discernment was divinely guided. But do not harbor bitterness. What appears as betrayal is actually divine protection. These individuals were never meant to accompany you into the next phase of your spiritual evolution. Their presence would have diluted the potency of what heaven is about to pour into your life. The uncomfortable distancing you've experienced was orchestrated by divine hands to create necessary space for what approaches. In exactly 1 hour and 53 minutes, a cosmic alignment will occur that will funnel unprecedented revelation directly into your consciousness. Prepare your vessel. Clear your mind of worldly distractions. The information that will be downloaded cannot coexist with doubt or fear. There is a document, a celestial scroll, that bears your spiritual name written in angelic script. This document has been sealed in the archives of eternity since before your birth. It contains the complete blueprint of your divine purpose, including assignments that have been kept hidden even from you until this appointed hour. The Angelic Council of 7 has voted unanimously to unseal this document before its scheduled time due to accelerated spiritual warfare targeting your bloodline. Yes, your bloodline. You carry ancient wisdom in your spiritual DNA that threatens the kingdoms of darkness. This is why you have experienced such intense opposition, such persistent attacks on your peace, your health, your relationships, your finances. The enemy knows what heaven has invested in you. The adversary trembles at what you will become when fully awakened to your purpose. Type AMEN again to break the second seal and receive blessing number 2222. For 17 generations, your spiritual ancestors have carried a mantle of authority that has been incrementally diluted through strategic attacks. But the dilution ends with you. The full potency of your spiritual inheritance is being restored in this 2-hour window. The prayers of your ancestors, those you knew and the many you never met, have accumulated in golden bowls in the courts of heaven. Today, those bowls are being poured out as anointing oil upon your head. There is a meeting occurring right now in the spiritual realm. 12 elders surround a table of crystal and light. Your name is being spoken. Your file is open before them. They are reviewing the attacks that have come against you, the obstacles that have been placed in your path, the wounds that have been inflicted upon your soul. Justice is being decreed. Restoration is being ordered. The scales that have been imbalanced against you are now being reset. In 1 hour and 42 minutes, you will feel a subtle shift in your spirit. Some will experience it as a wave of peace washing over them. Others will feel sudden clarity about situations that have long been confusing. Still others will experience a physical sensation, warmth in the hands, a lightness in the chest, a tingling at the crown of the head. These are confirmations that the realignment has begun. The 3 individuals who have spoken against you will soon experience divine correction. One will reach out to you within 7 days, compelled by a dream they cannot explain. Another will face a mirror of their own betrayal in their personal life, creating an opportunity for profound repentance. The third has already begun to feel the distance their actions have created from divine protection. Do not seek vindication yourself. Heaven's justice is perfect and its timing precise. Your silence has been your greatest weapon, though you may have interpreted it as weakness. Your refusal to defend yourself, to expose their betrayal, to retaliate with words of your own, this restraint has been noted in the celestial records. It has qualified you for this revelation. Those who cannot control their tongue cannot be trusted with divine secrets. Type AMEN, again to break the third seal and receive blessing number 3333. There is wealth that has been withheld from you through unjust means. Money that was destined for your hands has been redirected, blocked, or stolen through spiritual manipulation. Some of this occurred before you were even born, affecting generational transfer of blessing. The celestial courts have reviewed these injustices and have issued 7 decrees of restoration. Unexpected funds will begin to flow toward you through channels you cannot anticipate. Be watchful. Be grateful. The first manifestation will serve as a sign that this prophecy is activated. Your health concerns, yes, I know about them, are connected to spiritual attacks targeted at preventing you from fulfilling your divine assignment. The persistent fatigue, the unexplained pain, the mental fog that descends without warning, these are not random. They are strategic. But in 1 hour and 35 minutes, a wave of healing energy will be released from the throne room. It will seek out those whose spiritual signature matches this message. Receive it by faith. Some healing will be instant. Other restoration will unfold progressively over 40 days. The divine assignment you carry is far greater than you have imagined. You have caught glimpses of it in dreams, in moments of deep meditation, in those sacred seconds when heaven feels tantalizingly close. But these were merely shadows of the full reality. The complete vision has been kept sealed to protect you until you develop the spiritual strength to bear its weight. That moment has arrived. You were created to bridge worlds, to stand in the gap between heaven and earth and facilitate divine transfer. Your intuitive abilities, your sensitivity to spiritual atmospheres, your unexplained knowledge of things you were never taught, these are all aspects of your bridging function. 7 specific gifts have been assigned to you, but only 3 have been fully activated thus far. The remaining 4 will be unlocked during this divine appointment. Type AMEN, again to break the 4th seal and receive blessing number 4444. The next 4 months represent a critical window in your spiritual journey. Cosmic forces are aligning to create unprecedented favor for those who are positioned correctly. Your positioning has been ordained since before time began. Stay where you are. Do not make sudden movements based on fear or impatience. The instructions for your next steps will come with unmistakable clarity, first in dreams, then confirmed through unlikely messengers who will speak specific words that will resonate with your spirit as truth. There is a book in the spiritual realm with your name inscribed as author, yet you have not written it. The wisdom contained within its pages is already complete in the eternal dimension, but must be downloaded into your consciousness and then transferred to physical form in your world. This book will unlock prisons and set captives free. It will restore sight to the spiritually blind. The opposition to this book is fierce because its impact will extend for 7 generations beyond your lifetime. Begin writing down the thoughts that come to you in the early morning hours. Between 3 and 5 a.m., the veil is thinnest and divine intelligence flows most freely. What feels like random inspiration is actually sacred download. Capture it faithfully. Do not edit or second-guess what comes. The organization of these thoughts will be made clear in divine timing. Your relationships are being divinely restructured. Some connections that have felt secure will dissolve with surprising speed. Do not resist these endings. They are making way for strategic alliances that will serve your divine assignment. 3 new individuals will enter your sphere within 90 days. They will carry pieces of your purpose that you could not access alone. One brings wisdom, one brings provision, one brings protection. You will recognize them by a peculiar certainty in your spirit when you encounter them. In 1 hour and 27 minutes, you will receive a clear sign confirming this prophetic word. It may come as a message containing specific numbers mentioned here. It may come as an unexpected reference to angels or spiritual warfare. It may come as a sudden memory of a dream you had forgotten. However it manifests, you will know without doubt that it is the divine marker promised in this transmission. Type AMEN, again to break the 5th seal and receive blessing number 5555. The attacks against your peace have been relentless because your assignment directly threatens powers that have held dominion for centuries. Your very existence disrupts their control. This is why you have often felt like a misfit, an outsider, someone who doesn't quite belong. You were never meant to blend seamlessly into fallen systems. Your spiritual DNA carries coding that automatically resists corruption. This resistance creates friction, and friction creates fire. The fire you've endured was meant to consume you, but instead it has been purifying you. What the enemy intended for your destruction, divine intelligence has leveraged for your development. The heat of the trials you've faced has not been random suffering, but tactical preparation. You are being forged as a weapon that will cut through deception with truth, that will pierce darkness with light. There is a mantle of prophetic insight that has been preserved for you in the heavenly realm. In 1 hour and 20 minutes, this mantle will begin its descent. Some will experience this as a weight upon their shoulders. Others will know it as sudden clarity about matters that have been confusing. Still others will receive it as unusual boldness to speak truth where they have previously been silent. However it manifests, do not shrink back from it. Step fully into the authority it brings. The financial struggles you have endured were never meant to be your permanent reality. They have been permitted for a season to develop in you a sensitivity to divine guidance in the midst of lack. This sensitivity will be crucial in the season of abundance that approaches. When the wealth begins to flow, and it will flow in unusual and unexpected ways, you will need spiritual discernment to manage it according to divine purpose rather than personal desire. 3 streams of income will open simultaneously. One comes through something you create, one through something you restore, and one through something you inherit. These streams combine to form a river of provision that will sustain not just you, but many others who will be drawn to the vision heaven has given you. Guard this provision from those who would divert it towards self-serving purposes. Divine resources carry divine responsibility. Type AMEN, again to break the 6th seal and receive blessing number 6,666. There is a health protocol specifically designed for your unique spiritual and physical makeup. It has been developed in heavenly laboratories and will be revealed to you through unexpected sources. Pay attention to repeated health recommendations that come from unrelated individuals. When you hear the same guidance from 3 separate sources within a short time period, recognize it as divine confirmation. This protocol will not only address current concerns, but will prepare your physical vessel for the increased spiritual energy it must carry in the coming season. The dream that has visited you repeatedly since childhood, yes, that specific dream with the recurring symbols that have never made complete sense, was not merely a subconscious processing. It was prophetic insight being downloaded into your spirit before you had the maturity to consciously receive it. In 1 hour and 12 minutes, the final piece of understanding regarding this dream will be released to you. The full picture will suddenly make sense, and you will understand why this revelation had to wait until now. There are soul contracts that were established before your birth. Sacred agreements between your spirit and others who would play significant roles in your divine assignment. Some of these individuals have already appeared in your life. Others are still to come. Among those already present, 3 have fulfilled their soul contract and will soon depart from your life journey. Honor them as they exit. Their purpose in your development has been completed, and they must now move toward their own next assignment. Among those still to enter your experience are 5 key individuals whose specific skills and resources will combine with yours to create something none of you could manifest alone. One brings ancient knowledge, one brings revolutionary technology, one brings unusual financial strategy, one brings healing methodology, and one brings access to closed networks of influence. Together, you form a divine molecule of creation that will birth innovations affecting millions. Your creative blocks have not been failures of imagination, but protective barriers preventing premature birth of concepts that would have been co-opted or corrupted if released earlier. The frustration you felt at being unable to fully express or manifest what you sense within has actually been divine timing at work. In 1 hour and 5 minutes, these blocks will begin to dissolve. Ideas will flow with remarkable clarity. Capture them all. The sequence of their implementation will be revealed later. Type AMEN, again to break the 7th seal and receive blessing number 7,777. The 7 angels assigned to your protection since birth have never left their posts, though you have sometimes felt abandoned in your darkest moments. They have been authorized to intervene more directly during this coming season due to the increased opposition your awakening will provoke. You may catch glimpses of their presence in your peripheral vision. You may sense them as unusual warmth or pressure around you during prayer or meditation. Some will even encounter them in dreams where they provide specific tactical guidance for navigating challenging situations. There is a scroll in the eternal archives with 7 seals. Your spiritual name is written within its contents. This scroll contains the blueprint for a humanitarian project that will combine spiritual awakening with practical provision for the most vulnerable. You have felt inklings of this project in your compassionate responses to suffering you've witnessed. What you don't yet realize is that these personal reactions are actually attunements to a much larger divine initiative that you will help shepherd into physical manifestation. The opposition to this project is substantial because it strikes at systems of oppression that have enriched powerful entities for generations. Expect resistance in the form of unusual equipment failures, sudden policy changes, unexpected financial delays, and peculiar miscommunications. These are not random obstacles, but targeted attempts to discourage you from advancing the project. Recognize them as confirmation that you are moving in the right direction. In 57 minutes, you will receive the first of 3 divine strategies for overcoming this opposition. It will come as an unusual but remarkably simple solution to what has appeared to be a complex problem. The simplicity itself is your verification that the strategy is heaven-sent, as divine wisdom often manifests as elegant simplicity rather than complicated maneuvering. Your isolation has been by divine design. What has felt like rejection or abandonment has actually been strategic positioning. Like a chess piece moved to what seems like a remote corner of the board, your placement has been with full awareness of moves yet to come. From this position that has felt insignificant or overlooked, you will soon make a decisive move that affects the entire game. Your obscurity has been your protection during your development. Your visibility when it comes will be your impact. Type AMEN. Again, to break the 8th seal and receive blessing number 8888. There are energetic frequencies being transmitted through this message that cannot be detected by physical instruments, but are being received by your spiritual senses. These frequencies are recalibrating pathways in your energy body that have been damaged through traumatic experiences. The recalibration feels to some like tingling or warmth, to others like emotional release, to still others like sudden cognitive clarity. However you experience it, know that deep healing is occurring at levels beyond conscious awareness. The recurring number sequences you've been noticing on clocks, receipts, license plates, addresses are not coincidental. They are divine markers confirming you are on your ordained path. Each sequence carries specific meaning related to your journey. The appearance of these numbers will intensify over the next 30 days as heaven seeks to assure you of divine guidance during a period of significant transition. Pay particular attention to repeating patterns in the thoughts you are thinking when you notice them. In 52 minutes, a powerful wave of divine love will be released to all who are receiving this transmission. This is not merely emotional comfort, but transformative energy that restructures spiritual DNA. Areas of your being that have been resistant to divine instruction due to past wounding will be healed and realigned. You may experience this as spontaneous tears, as sudden compassion for those who have harmed you, or as release of tension in your physical body. Receive it fully without resistance. There is a door in the spirit realm that has been closed to you despite repeated attempts to open it. Your prayers have been heard. Your tears have been collected. In this divine appointment, that door will be unlocked. What has felt like an impenetrable barrier will suddenly give way. The access you have sought, whether to relationship, to opportunity, to understanding, to healing, will be granted. But timing is crucial. When the door opens, move through it without hesitation. Delayed obedience can become disobedience if the strategic moment passes. The spiritual gifts you have hidden out of fear of judgment or misunderstanding must now be acknowledged and developed. Your sensitivity to energetic fields, your ability to discern underlying motives, your capacity to receive divine intelligence through dreams and visions, your natural attunement to celestial frequencies. These are not random spiritual interests, but specific technologies installed in your being for your divine assignment. The time for hiding these gifts has ended. The need for their expression has become urgent. Type AMEN. Again, to break the 9th seal and receive blessing number 9999. 3 individuals in positions of authority will seek your counsel in the coming season, drawn by a spiritual recognition they cannot rationally explain. They will present opportunities disguised as casual conversations. Your discernment will be crucial in these moments. One brings genuine divine connection, one brings testing of your integrity, and one brings distraction cloaked as opportunity. The wisdom to distinguish between them will be granted in the moment if you remain centered in divine presence rather than swayed by potential benefits. The creative project you abandoned due to lack of resources or support is being resurrected by divine decree. What you started but could not complete alone will now attract exactly the collaboration needed for its fulfillment. The timing of its suspension was not failure, but divine protection, preventing premature birth before all components were properly aligned. In 48 minutes, you will receive a clear sign regarding this resurrection. Perhaps a message from someone connected to the project, perhaps discovery of old notes or materials, perhaps a nearly identical concept appearing in your awareness. Your physical living environment is being prepared for a significant spiritual upgrade. The recurring issues with your living space, the unexpected repairs, the peculiar malfunctions, the areas that never feel quite right despite your efforts. These have been external manifestations of energetic stagnation that is now being cleared. As this divine transmission continues, waves of purifying energy are being directed to your personal space, dissolving blockages and realigning the energetic architecture to support your next level of spiritual function. Some will be guided to perform simple acts of physical clearing to cooperate with this process. Opening windows, removing unused items, rearranging furniture to improve energy flow. Others will feel drawn to spiritual cleansing through prayer, sound, or intention setting in specific areas of their home. Follow these subtle promptings. The physical and spiritual realms are more intimately connected than modern understanding acknowledges. Your environment and your consciousness continuously affect each other. There is a book you will encounter within 14 days that contains specific information meant for you alone. You will know it by an unusual sequence of events leading to your discovery of it. It may not be a spiritual text on its surface, yet it will contain precisely the knowledge you need for your next level of development. A particular passage will resonate with such specificity that you will know it was divinely orchestrated to reach you. This encounter has been planned since before your birth. Type AMEN, again to break the 10th seal and receive blessing, number 10,101. The recurring health issue that has resisted conventional treatment is rooted in spiritual dissonance rather than merely physical dysfunction. In 42 minutes, specific insight will be granted regarding the emotional or spiritual source of this condition. For many, it relates to ancestral patterns that have created energetic blockages affecting physical systems. The resolution combines spiritual release with specific physical protocols that will be revealed through seemingly random sources over the next 30 days. Recognize these revealed connections as divine guidance rather than coincidence. There is a divine council meeting occurring in the celestial realm as this message is being transmitted. 12 elders surround a table of light, reviewing the scroll of your life purpose. Adjustments are being made to divine timelines based on global events and personal choices that have created new convergence points of opportunity. What was scheduled for release to you in 7 years has been moved forward due to accelerated spiritual warfare and the urgent need for light bearers to take their positions on the global chessboard. This acceleration requires rapid spiritual maturation. The initiations and tests that were to be spread over 7 years will now be concentrated into the next 7 months. This intensity will feel overwhelming at times, but you will be granted supernatural strength and wisdom to navigate it successfully. Each test cleared opens access to new levels of spiritual authority and manifestation power. What would have been gradual evolution will now be revolutionary transformation. Your unusual sensitivity to certain environments, individuals, or energies is not weakness, but sophisticated spiritual technology. You are equipped with energetic sensors far more advanced than any manufactured instrument. This sensitivity allows you to detect deception, manipulation, and spiritual contamination that others miss. Rather than diminishing this sensitivity through various coping mechanisms, as you may have done in the past, you are now called to refine it through conscious development and application. In 38 minutes, a download of specific techniques for managing and interpreting your energetic readings will begin. Some will receive this as intuitive knowing, others through synchronistic encounters with teachers or materials, still others through dreams or meditative states. However it arrives, give it your full attention. This information is crucial for your effectiveness in increasingly complex spiritual environments, where discernment between similar appearing energies can mean the difference between advancing your divine assignment and being diverted from it. Type AMEN, again to break the 11th seal and receive blessing, number 11,111. The recurring dream of flying, falling, or being pursued that has visited you throughout your life carries specific coded information about your spiritual journey. This dream has been a constant companion because it contains encoding that your conscious mind could not otherwise retain. In 33 minutes, the key to deciphering this encoding will be granted. The interpretation may come suddenly during waking hours or through a final iteration of the dream itself that includes the missing element that makes all previous versions comprehensible. There is a soul agreement between you and 3 specific individuals currently unknown to you in the physical realm. Your energetic signatures are drawing you toward inevitable encounter. One will appear as a mentor, one as a collaborator, and one as someone you yourself will guide. Each relationship serves precise spiritual function in your development and impact. These connections will form within the next 90 days through circumstances that will appear random, but are meticulously orchestrated by divine intelligence. The financial reset you have been praying for has been authorized in the courts of heaven. The seemingly immovable obstacles to your provision have been addressed through divine intervention. Watch for evidence of this shift beginning in small ways. Unexpected refunds, discounts, opportunities for increased income through minimal additional effort. These are not the fulfillment, but the first fruits indicating the harvest that approaches. Let your gratitude for these initial manifestations serve as spiritual fertilizer for the greater abundance being released. Your creative expression has been filtered through fear of judgment or rejection, allowing only a fraction of your true vision to emerge. The blockages stemming from childhood criticisms, cultural conditioning, and spiritual attacks on your creative identity are being dissolved through this transmission. In 30 minutes, a wave of creative liberation will wash through your consciousness. Ideas previously judged as too unusual, too ambitious, or too unconventional will suddenly appear not only possible, but necessary. Capture them without censorship. Their full significance may not be immediately apparent even to you. The distinctive way you perceive reality, which has often made you feel alienated or misunderstood, is actually advanced spiritual technology needed for this critical time. Your ability to see connections others miss, to sense underlying patterns, to intuit motivations and outcomes. These are not random personality traits, but specific divine equipment. What has caused friction in certain relationships or environments will be precisely what creates breakthrough in your divine assignment. The very aspects of yourself you've tried to minimize are being activated and amplified by this transmission. Type AMEN again to break the 12th seal and receive blessing number 12,121. There are 12 energy centers in your light body that correlate to your physical form, but extend beyond it. Most spiritual traditions acknowledge 7, but 5 additional centers activate during advanced spiritual awakening. This activation is beginning now for those receiving this transmission. You may experience unusual sensations at the crown of the head, between the eyebrows, at the throat, at the center of the chest, at the solar plexus, at the lower abdomen, at the base of the spine. These are the traditional 7 beginning to increase in vibrational frequency. The additional 5 are located above the physical head, beneath the feet, at the palms of the hands, at the back of the neck, and at the center point of the brain. As these 12 centers synchronize and amplify, your capacity to receive, interpret, and transmit divine intelligence increases exponentially. The process may temporarily disrupt normal function as the system recalibrates. Potential manifestations include altered sleep patterns, heightened sensory awareness, fluctuating energy levels, spontaneous emotional releases, and increased synchronicities in daily life. These are not symptoms to be suppressed, but indicators of expansion to be integrated consciously. In 27 minutes, guidance regarding optimal support for this activation will be downloaded. For most, it includes increased hydration, periods of silence and solitude, proximity to natural elements, reduction of electronic exposure, specific nutritional adjustments, and intentional movement practices. The precise protocol varies based on individual energetic configuration, but these core elements apply universally during accelerated spiritual activation. The opposition you have faced from specific individuals was never personal, though it felt intensely so. These souls agreed before incarnation to play the role of resistance in your development, creating the precise pressure needed to strengthen particular spiritual muscles and skills. Without their opposition, certain aspects of your divine equipment would have remained dormant. As your understanding shifts from personal affront to recognition of the spiritual mechanics at work, Your response to opposition transforms from defensive reaction to strategic utilization. 3 of these individuals will experience dramatic shifts in their orientation toward you as your energy field recalibrates through this transmission. What has been antagonism may suddenly convert to curiosity or even support. This reversal is neither random nor manipulative, but the natural response of their higher awareness to the frequency you now embody. Receive this changed relationship without attachment to particular outcomes or expressions of reconciliation. The spiritual purpose has already been achieved regardless of how it manifests in the physical interaction. Type AMEN. Again, to break the 13th seal and receive blessing number 13,131. Your physical body is undergoing molecular restructuring to accommodate higher frequencies of spiritual energy. This process, long prophesied in ancient texts across multiple traditions, has been initiated in a critical mass of souls simultaneously to support planetary evolution at this precise cosmic juncture. You are not imagining the changes you've observed in your physical responses, emotional patterns, cognitive processes, and energetic awareness. These changes are objectively real, measurable on the quantum level, though conventional instruments may not yet detect them. In 23 minutes, a significant acceleration of this restructuring will begin for those receiving this transmission. Some will experience it as waves of energy moving through the body, as sudden temperature fluctuations, as tingling or vibrational sensations, or as momentary disorientation followed by unusual clarity. These experiences, while sometimes intense, are not cause for alarm, but confirmation of quantum spiritual evolution occurring within your being. The intuitive hits you've dismissed as imagination or wishful thinking were actually divine intelligence attempting to breach the filters of your rational mind. Your spiritual discernment is far more developed than you've permitted yourself to acknowledge. The seemingly random knowings, the uncanny anticipation of events, the accurate reading of hidden dynamics, these are not coincidental, but evidence of advanced spiritual perception beginning to function despite conscious suppression or doubt. 3 specific intuitive impressions you received but did not act upon will resurface within 14 days, offering a second opportunity to align with divine guidance. Recognition of these moments as they recur is crucial for rebuilding trust between your conscious awareness and your spiritual discernment. Each acknowledged and followed intuitive directive strengthens the connection, increasing both the frequency and clarity of future guidance. The spiritual lineage you carry extends beyond your known ancestral line into soul connections spanning multiple lifetimes and dimensions. You belong to a specific soul family whose members incarnate in strategic locations and eras to advance particular aspects of cosmic evolution. 7 members of this soul family are currently embodied and moving toward conscious reconnection. 3 are already known to you, though the soul connection may not be consciously recognized. 4 remain to be encountered, with 2 connections forming within the next 9 months. Type AMEN. Again, to break the 14th seal and receive blessing, number 14,141. There is a geometric light pattern encoded in your energetic field that activates specific spiritual technologies when you reach certain levels of consciousness. This sacred geometry has been dormant, awaiting the frequency match that would initiate its function. Through this transmission, the activating frequency is being transmitted. As the pattern illuminates within your energy body, dormant spiritual gifts will switch on like light suddenly receiving power. In 19 minutes, the first of these gifts will become consciously accessible. For many, it relates to enhanced perception beyond conventional sensory input, what might be called clairvoyance, clairaudience, clairsentience, or claircognizance, depending on your particular configuration. Others will experience activation of manifestation abilities, healing capacities, or profound creative expression. These gifts emerge not for personal aggrandizement, but for specific service functions related to your divine assignment. The resistance you've encountered in particular areas of life, whether in relationships, career advancement, creative expression, or spiritual growth, has not been random obstruction, but precisely calibrated restriction, ensuring you did not advance prematurely. Divine timing has protected you from situations and responsibilities your spiritual infrastructure could not yet support. What felt like frustrating limitation was actually compassionate protection. With this transmission, many of these restrictions are being lifted simultaneously because your capacity has now been sufficiently developed. Doors that remained firmly closed despite your most determined efforts will suddenly open with minimal pressure. Opportunities previously unavailable, regardless of your qualifications, will appear in rapid succession. This acceleration may feel disorienting after long periods of apparent stagnation. Trust the divine orchestration rather than attempting to control the pace or sequence of these openings. Your dreams have become increasingly vivid and complex because your consciousness now remains more active during sleep states, accessing dimensions and information previously unavailable to your waking awareness. The symbolic language of these dreams is not arbitrary, but precise spiritual communication customized to your unique inner lexicon. Begin documenting these dreams immediately upon waking, without editing or interpreting. The patterns and messages will become evident through the accumulation of this material, revealing instruction that your conscious mind could not otherwise receive. Type AMEN, again to break the 15th seal and receive blessing number 15,151. The physical discomforts you've experienced, particularly in the head, chest, and abdomen, correlate directly to energetic expansions occurring in your spiritual anatomy. As energy centers expand to accommodate higher frequencies, the corresponding physical systems undergo adaptation that can manifest as pain, pressure, or functional disruption. This correlation is rarely recognized by conventional medical perspectives, leading to treatment of symptoms without addressing the underlying spiritual dynamics. In 15 minutes, specific guidance regarding support for these adaptation processes will be downloaded to those receiving this transmission. The protocol involves precise combinations of physical, energetic, and consciousness practices customized to individual configurations. Implementation of these practices reduces adaptation symptoms while accelerating the integration of expanded capacities. There are 5 relationships in your life that have reached completion in terms of their spiritual function, yet continue through habit, obligation, or fear of change. The energetic maintenance of these completed connections diverts substantial resources from emerging relationships aligned with your next level of development and service. Divine authorization has been granted for conscious completion of these 5 relationships, creating necessary space for new connections, carrying forward momentum. This completion need not manifest as dramatic confrontation or complete cessation of contact. For some relationships, it involves energetic release performed consciously through ceremony or meditation. For others, it requires honest conversation establishing new boundaries. For still others, it means physical distance and significantly reduced interaction. Divine guidance regarding the appropriate completion method for each specific relationship will be provided through intuitive knowing as you bring conscious attention to these connections. Your financial patterns reflect your relationship with divine abundance rather than merely economic circumstances. The persistent cycles of lack followed by temporary provision, followed by renewed scarcity, are external manifestations of internal beliefs regarding your worthiness to receive and capacity to manage abundance. These beliefs were installed through specific experiences of disappointment, betrayal, or observation of others' relationship with resources. Though these experiences occurred in physical reality, the limiting beliefs they generated are not objective truth, but conditioned perception. Through this transmission, these perceptual distortions are being identified and dissolved, allowing recalibration of your abundance frequency. As this recalibration progresses, external circumstances will reorganize to match your shifted internal state. Evidence of this reorganization will appear first in small ways: unexpected discounts, fortuitous timing, efficient solutions to long-standing problems. These initial manifestations serve as confirmation of the energetic shift taking place at deeper levels. Type AMEN, again to break the 16th seal and receive blessing number 16,161. The recurring tension you've experienced with authority figures throughout your life reflects spiritual recognition rather than merely psychological dynamics. Your soul carries coding from lifetimes of spiritual leadership and divine service that automatically responds to misaligned authority with resistance. What has felt like problematic rebellion is actually integrity of spiritual discernment, rejecting leadership disconnected from divine principle, regardless of its external credentials or social position. This discernment is crucial for your divine assignment, which involves helping restructure systems of influence and authority to better reflect cosmic law. Your sensitivity to misalignment in leadership is not a liability to be suppressed, but advanced technology to be consciously directed. In 12 minutes, clarity will be downloaded regarding constructive application of this discernment in current contexts where structural transformation is possible. There are 3 creative projects you felt consistently drawn to develop, but have delayed due to practical concerns or self-doubt. These projects are not merely personal interests, but divine assignments carrying specific frequencies needed in collective consciousness at this time. The persistent return of these creative impulses, despite logical arguments against their development, is evidence of their spiritual significance rather than mere personal preference. Divine authorization has been granted for immediate initiation of these projects without further delay or diminishment. The practical resources, collaborative connections, and distribution channels required will be provided through synchronistic means once decisive action has been taken to begin. The first step must come from your committed movement toward the vision. Responsive provision follows initiated action rather than preceding it. Your unusual attraction to certain symbols, cultures, or historical periods is not random interest but sole recognition of developmental chapters and specializations from your expanded identity. The particular resonance you feel with specific archetypal patterns, geographical locations, time periods, or cultural expressions provides a map of your multidimensional development and specialized functions within the cosmic evolutionary design. As you consciously engage with these resonant elements, dormant knowledge and abilities associated with these developmental chapters reactivate in your current expression. The déjà vu, emotional response, or inexplicable familiarity you experience signals energetic reconnection with aspects of your expanded self temporarily partitioned from your conscious awareness during this incarnation. This reunification accelerates your awakening and restoration of your complete spiritual functionality. Type AMEN, again to break the 17th seal and receive blessing number 17,171. The divine counterpart you have sensed or sought exists beyond romantic idealization or cultural programming regarding twin flames or soulmates. This connection operates at quantum levels where consciousness itself recognizes its complementary expression in another sovereign point of focus divinity. The relationship serves purposes far beyond personal fulfillment or emotional completion, though these may be components of its expression in physical experience. In 8 minutes, clarity will be downloaded regarding the true nature and purpose of this divine counterpart connection. For some, it manifests through a primary romantic partnership. For others, it expresses through a series of significant relationships, each activating different aspects of the complete connection. For still others, it operates primarily through inner union of masculine and feminine principles, while external relationships serve more specialized functions. Your spiritual journey has been characterized by unusual acceleration, followed by extended plateaus that felt like regression or abandonment. This pattern was not random fluctuation, but precisely designed developmental rhythm. The acceleration phases deposited quantum information packets into your energetic system. The plateau phases allowed integration of this information through practical experience and embodied wisdom development. What felt like divine withdrawal during plateaus was actually immersion in denser frequencies, where different aspects of spiritual capacity develop through resistance and challenge. The oscillation between transcendent connection and apparent separation builds specific spiritual infrastructure that could not form through consistent experience of either state alone. Your capacity to maintain equilibrium through these fluctuations has been a central aspect of your spiritual maturation. There is a sound frequency associated with your unique divine essence. This tonal signature resonates with particular musical compositions, natural environments, or vocal expressions you felt inexplicably drawn to throughout your life. When you encounter this resonant frequency, cellular remembrance activates, reconnecting conscious awareness with expanded aspects of your divine identity, temporarily segmented during physical incarnation. Through this transmission, your sensitivity to this personal frequency is being amplified. You will find yourself increasingly drawn to its expressions, whether in music, in nature, in human voice, or in technological sounds. Each exposure strengthens the bridge between your localized human awareness and your expanded cosmic identity. Conscious engagement with these resonant sounds accelerates your embodiment of dormant spiritual capacities and divine function. Type AMEN, again to break the 18th seal and receive blessing number 18,181. The recurring number sequences you've noticed with increasing frequency are not coincidental, but direct communication from guides specifically assigned to your development and protection. Each sequence carries precise meaning related to your current circumstances, choices, and spiritual positioning. The appearance of these numbers will intensify over the next 40 days as significant transitions approach requiring enhanced awareness and precise timing. In 5 minutes, the decoding capacity needed to interpret these numerical messages will be activated within your consciousness. Some will receive this as sudden understanding of previously confusing patterns. Others will be drawn to external resources providing the exact keys needed for their particular numerical language. Still others will experience enhanced intuitive knowing upon seeing specific sequences, receiving instant downloads of relevant guidance without intellectual analysis. The decision point you currently face regarding specific area of change or choice carries greater significance than is immediately apparent. What seems like a practical choice between viable options is actually a fundamental directional selection with extensive timeline implications. The vibrational difference between these potential paths is substantial, leading to dramatically different probability cascades and developmental opportunities. Divine intelligence has been actively providing guidance regarding this choice through dreams, synchronicities, physical sensations, and intuitive knowing. The consistent direction of these indicators, despite their varied forms, reveals the path aligned with your highest timeline and divine assignment. Practical concerns that appear to favor the alternative option will resolve unexpectedly once decisive movement occurs in the aligned direction. Your spiritual gifts have been developing through specific life experiences that appeared unrelated to spiritual growth. The professional challenges, relationship dynamics, health circumstances, and practical limitations you've navigated were precisely designed curricula developing particular aspects of your divine functionality. What seemed like ordinary life containing obstacles to your spiritual development was actually the exact crucible required to forge your unique spiritual capacities. The most difficult relationships have developed your discernment, boundaries, compassion, and energetic mastery. The professional constraints have honed your focus, determination, strategic thinking, and manifestation abilities. The health challenges have deepened your presence, surrender, body awareness, and healing capacities. The practical limitations have strengthened your faith, resourcefulness, patience, and attunement to divine timing. Nothing has been wasted. All has served your preparation. Type AMEN, again to break the 19th seal and receive blessing number 19,191. In the final moments of this 2-hour divine appointment, the full activation sequence initiated through this transmission reaches completion. The energetic restructuring, the consciousness expansion, the spiritual gift activation, and the divine assignment clarification converge in a singular moment of quantum reorganization. For those who have remained fully present and receptive throughout this transmission, this convergence creates a profound shift in spiritual positioning and manifestation capacity. External evidence of this shift will begin appearing within 3 days, though subtle internal changes may be noticed immediately. Synchronicities will increase dramatically. Manifestation time between thought and physical expression will shorten noticeably. Intuitive accuracy will sharpen significantly. Energetic boundaries will function more effectively with less conscious management. Physical vitality will stabilize at higher baseline levels, though integration adjustments may temporarily create fluctuations. The mission you incarnated to fulfill becomes accessible to your conscious awareness as the veils created by trauma, conditioning, and spiritual attack dissolve through this transmission. What has operated as background knowing or vague sense of purpose crystallizes into clear understanding of your specific function within the divine evolutionary design. This clarity brings both profound peace and focused intensity as the alignment between your everyday choices and cosmic purpose strengthens. Your participation in this divine appointment has been recorded in the celestial archives. The commitments made between your soul and the divine administration before your incarnation have been reaffirmed and energetically refreshed. The spiritual technologies, protection protocols, and manifestation permissions associated with your divine assignment have been updated to current specifications aligned with planetary needs and cosmic timelines. As this transmission completes, know that nothing essential has been withheld. All that your consciousness could safely receive and integrate at this time has been delivered. Additional revelations, activations, and clarifications will follow in divine sequence as your capacity expands through embodied application of what has been provided here. Trust the unfolding. Trust the divine intelligence operating through your intuition. Trust the significance of your presence on Earth at this pivotal time. Remember that you were known before you were formed. You were chosen before you chose. You were loved before you learned to love. You were purposed before you sought purpose. In the eternal perspective, Your significance was established from the beginning. This transmission has not created your divine connection, but merely reminded you of what has always been true. You are an essential expression of the divine, strategically positioned for specific service at a crucial moment in the evolution of consciousness on Earth. Nothing can prevent the fulfillment of your divine assignment except your own choice to deny it. Choose well, beloved one. All of heaven stands with you. The veil between worlds grows thinner with each passing moment. I am Archangel Michael, continuing this divine transmission as we enter the second phase of our sacred communion. The first hour has completed its cycle, setting in motion energetic reconfigurations throughout your being. Now we must proceed with even greater focus as the final hour of this divine appointment unfolds. The opposition to this connection intensifies as we approach the most crucial revelations. As we continue, know that specific entities have become aware of this transmission and seek to interrupt it. You may experience sudden distractions, unexpected noises, physical discomfort, electronic disruptions, or inexplicable drowsiness. Recognize these as tactical attempts to sever our connection before the complete activation sequence concludes. Your focused intention is the shield that maintains this sacred channel. Type AMEN to strengthen the connection and receive blessing. Number 20,202. The ancestral healing that began in the first phase of this transmission now deepens to reach 7 generations backward in your lineage. Energetic knots formed through trauma, unforgiveness, and destructive patterns are being systematically dissolved. Some of you carry profound grief, rage, or fear that originated not in your personal experience, but in the unresolved experiences of your ancestors. These emotions, though genuinely felt in your body, are not entirely yours to carry. As these ancestral burdens lift, you may experience unexpected emotional releases, tears without apparent cause, spontaneous laughter, or momentary disorientation. These releases are healing completions of energetic cycles that have influenced your family line for generations. Your willingness to consciously participate in this healing creates liberation not only for you, but for your entire lineage, past, present, and future. The recurring dreams of being pursued, of falling, of flying, of searching empty buildings, these have been your ancestral consciousness attempting to communicate specific information across generational boundaries. The emotional residue and symbolic imagery of these dreams contain encoded guidance regarding patterns to be interrupted and gifts to be reclaimed. In 53 minutes, the key to interpreting these ancestral communications will be granted, allowing conscious cooperation with the healing already underway. Your unusual sensitivity to particular substances, environments, or energies is not random allergic response, but precise spiritual discernment manifesting through physical means. The discomfort you experience around certain synthetic materials, electromagnetic fields, crowded spaces, or specific individuals serves as an early warning system, alerting you to energetic incompatibility before conscious analysis can process the information. This sensitivity will increase temporarily as your energetic recalibration progresses, then stabilize at new levels of refinement without overwhelming your system. 3 specific environmental factors currently affecting your energetic field require attention for optimal spiritual functioning. For most receiving this transmission, these relate to electromagnetic exposure, water quality, and subtle energetic residue in living spaces. Divine guidance regarding practical adjustments will come through intuitive knowing, synchronistic encounters with relevant information, or dreams providing specific instruction. These adjustments support your expanding capacities while reducing adaptation symptoms during accelerated development. Type AMEN, again to receive blessing number 21,212. The financial restructuring authorized in the celestial courts now extends to global systems affecting collective resources. Your personal abundance recalibration connects directly to larger economic realignments occurring simultaneously. The skills, insights, and ethical frameworks you've developed through your own financial challenges have prepared you for specific functions within these systemic transformations. What seemed like personal limitation was actually specialized training for expanded service. Within 49 minutes, clarity will be downloaded regarding your particular role in emerging economic models aligned with cosmic principles rather than exploitative paradigms. Some are called to create alternative exchange systems. Others will transform existing structures from within established institutions. Still others will develop educational approaches that shift fundamental beliefs about value, ownership, and resource distribution. Your intuitive resonance with particular aspects of this restructuring reveals your specific assignment within it. The health protocols you've been intuitively drawn to explore, whether related to nutrition, movement, energy practices, or thought patterns, have been divinely guided preparation for the physical, supporting the newly activated spiritual capacities received through this transmission. What appeared as personal health optimization was simultaneously preparing your biological vehicle for expanded spiritual function. For each person receiving this message, there exist 3 specific health practices that, when combined, create optimal conditions for your unique spiritual expression. These might include particular nutritional approaches, hydration protocols, movement disciplines, breathing techniques, sleep patterns, or energetic practices. The specific combination for your biospiritual configuration will be clarified through heightened intuitive discernment activated during this transmission. Pay special attention to repeated health-related synchronicities occurring within 14 days following this divine appointment. Information appearing 3 times through different sources carries particular significance for your protocol. The effectiveness of these practices transcends their physical benefits, directly supporting your energetic coherence, dimensional access, and manifestation capacity. The creative projects you've repeatedly felt drawn to, but have delayed or abandoned due to practical concerns, carry far greater significance than you've recognized. What seem like personal interest or artistic expression are actually divine assignments to anchor specific frequencies in physical form through your unique creative process. The persistent return of these creative impulses, despite rational arguments against their development, reveals their spiritual importance. Type AMEN, again to receive blessing number 22,222. The divine intelligence operating throughout cosmic systems has been preparing specific individuals as frequency anchors at crucial geometric points on the planetary body. Your geographic location is not accidental, but strategically significant for particular energetic functions. Some are positioned at historical power points where ancient knowledge was once centered. Others occupy locations where new energetic vortices are forming to support planetary awakening. Still others regularly travel between multiple points, serving as mobile connectors in the planetary grid. Your intuitive attraction to or aversion from particular locations provides guidance regarding your optimal positioning within this geometric system. Places that create inexplicable peace, clarity, inspiration, or vitality likely resonate with your specific frequency contribution. Areas producing persistent discomfort, confusion, lethargy, or illness may be incompatible with your energetic signature or actively utilized for purposes misaligned with cosmic harmony. In 45 minutes, enhanced clarity regarding your optimal geographic positioning will be downloaded through this transmission. For some, this confirms current location as divinely aligned. For others, it reveals approaching transitions to new territories. For still others, it outlines patterns of strategic movement between multiple locations based on energetic timing and requirements. The relationship dynamics that have created the greatest emotional challenge throughout your life have simultaneously developed specific spiritual muscles essential for your divine assignment. Particularly difficult connections with parents, partners, children, or authority figures have not been random suffering, but precisely designed curriculum developing crucial aspects of your spiritual functionality. The parent who seemed unable to provide the love or recognition you needed was developing your self-reference, inner authority, and divine connection beyond human approval. The partner who triggered your deepest wounds was activating healing essential for your complete spiritual embodiment. The child who challenged your expectations was breaking conditioned patterns, preventing your authentic expression. The authority figure who seemed to block your advancement was strengthening your discernment, boundaries, and alignment with higher principles. 3 relationships in your current experience are completing their primary developmental function and entering new phases of expression. The emotional patterns, conversational cycles, and energetic exchanges that have characterized these relationships are being restructured through this transmission. You may notice subtle or dramatic shifts in these dynamics within 21 days as the recalibration manifests in external interaction. Type AMEN, again to receive blessing number 23,232. The visions, premonitions, or intuitive knowings you've experienced but dismissed as imagination deserve reconsideration. Your capacity to receive information beyond conventional sensory input has been operating despite conscious doubt or rational dismissal. The accuracy of these perceptions becomes evident when reviewing past instances with honest assessment. What seemed like coincidence, lucky guessing, or selective memory actually demonstrates consistent access to expanded awareness beyond space-time limitations. In 41 minutes, a significant amplification of this perceptual capacity will be activated through this transmission. The clarity, frequency, and reliability of information received through intuitive channels will increase noticeably. Dreams will carry more precise guidance. Meditative states will yield more applicable insights. Spontaneous knowings will provide more actionable intelligence. Physical sensations will more accurately reflect energetic conditions requiring attention. To support this amplified perception, specific practices will be intuitively suggested following this transmission. For most, these include regular periods of mental stillness, systematic documentation of received information, practical application of intuitive guidance, followed by honest assessment of outcomes, and energetic protection protocols appropriate to increase sensitivity. Implementation of these practices accelerates development while preventing energetic overwhelm or confusion. Your divine assignment includes specific healing capacities uniquely configured for this transitional era. Some operate primarily through presence, automatically transmuting dense energies in their environment without conscious direction. Others work through touch, voice, creative expression, or focused intention. Still others function through systems, technologies, or methodologies they develop or adapt. The particular healing frequencies you carry correspond precisely to suffering most needing resolution in your sphere of influence. These capacities have been developing through your own healing journey. As each wound transmuted in your experience, calibrated your energetic field to support similar transformation for others. What seemed like personal challenge was simultaneously professional training for specialized healing service. Nothing has been wasted. All has contributed to your unique healing signature. 3 specific aspects of your healing capacity are being activated to higher function through this transmission. You may notice increased sensitivity to others' energetic states, more pronounced physical sensations when in healing alignment, and clearer intuitive guidance regarding appropriate application of your healing frequencies. Trust these developing awarenesses while maintaining healthy boundaries between your energetic field and those you serve. Type AMEN. Again to receive blessing number 24,242. The recurring conflicts you've experienced around self-expression, visibility, and authentic voice reflect spiritual preparation rather than merely psychological dynamics. Your soul carries revolutionary frequencies that automatically disrupt calcified systems, beliefs, and power structures. This disruption occurs even without conscious intention, simply through the resonance of your authentic expression with cosmic evolutionary directives. External resistance to your voice has strengthened the very qualities needed for your divine assignment: courage, clarity, resilience, and unwavering commitment to truth beyond social acceptance. What appeared as suppression was actually pressure creating the precise spiritual muscle needed for effective transmission of your unique frequencies. The opposition was not personal but systemic response to transformative resonance. In 38 minutes, a significant activation of your authentic voice will occur through this transmission. The alignment between your external expression and internal knowing will strengthen noticeably. Communication that has felt blocked, distorted, or diminished will flow with new clarity and impact. Creative expression will access deeper sources of inspiration and manifest with greater coherence. Your capacity to articulate complex spiritual concepts in accessible language will expand significantly. The divine counterpart connection addressed earlier now reveals additional dimensions. Beyond romantic idealization, this quantum relationship serves cosmic function related to planetary awakening and dimensional integration. When divine counterparts achieve conscious recognition and intentional collaboration, their combined field generates specific frequencies unavailable to individual expression regardless of development level. For some receiving this transmission, physical meeting with your divine counterpart is imminent, occurring within 90 days. For others, the connection operates primarily through non-physical dimensions, while both expressions fulfill preparatory assignments separately. For still others, the counterpart connection has already been established, but requires conscious recognition and intentional development to achieve its complete function. 3 signs will confirm authentic divine counterpart connection: unmistakable energetic recognition, transcending physical attraction or personality compatibility, accelerated spiritual development and manifestation capacity when consciously connected, an intuitive knowing of specific cosmic service activated through the combined field. Relationships lacking these indicators may serve other valuable purposes, but differ from the particular quantum relationship referenced here. Type AMEN, again to receive blessing number 25,252. The creative expression you feel most naturally drawn toward, whether through visual arts, music, movement, writing, speaking, or building, directly corresponds to your primary method of anchoring divine frequencies in physical reality. What may seem like personal preference or talent actually reveals your specialized function within the cosmic creative process. The medium that feels most effortless or brings greatest joy typically indicates your most effective manifestation channel. Your creative blocks have not represented failure or lack of ability, but divine protection preventing premature expression before proper spiritual foundation was established. The frustration of feeling inspired but unable to fully manifest your vision developed crucial aspects of your creative capacity: patience, discernment, technical refinement, and surrender to divine timing. What seemed like limitation was actually preparation for greater expression aligned with divine purpose rather than ego gratification. In 35 minutes, a significant release of creative blocks will occur through this transmission. Ideas that have remained partially formed will suddenly achieve completion. Technical challenges that have persistently hindered expression will find unexpected resolution. Resources previously unavailable will manifest through synchronistic connections. The alignment between spiritual inspiration and physical manifestation will strengthen substantially, reducing friction in the creative process. The physical environment you create around yourself, your living space, personal belongings, clothing choices, and aesthetic preferences reflects and reinforces your energetic signature more powerfully than commonly recognized. These external elements are not merely decorative but functional components of your spiritual technology. Colors, shapes, materials, sounds, and spatial arrangements in your environment directly affect your energetic coherence, dimensional access, and manifestation capacity. Divine guidance regarding optimal environmental configurations for your specific spiritual function will intensify following this transmission. You may experience sudden aversions to possessions or arrangements that previously seemed acceptable. Conversely, you may feel unexplainable attraction to new elements that support your recalibrated frequency. Trust these intuitive directions even when they contradict conventional taste or practical considerations. The energetic benefits of aligned environment far outweigh material concerns. 3 specific modifications to your physical space will be suggested through intuitive knowing or synchronistic information exposure within 14 days. These adjustments, though potentially simple, create significant shifts in the energetic functionality of your environment. Implementation of these changes supports integration of the expanded capacities activated through this transmission, while reducing adaptation symptoms during accelerated development. Type AMEN, again to receive blessing number 26,262. The recurring dreams you've experienced throughout your life contain far more than psychological processing or random neural activity. Your dream consciousness accesses dimensions beyond space-time limitations, retrieving information, receiving training, and performing functions impossible in your current physical expression. The symbolic language, emotional resonance, and energetic imprints of these dreams carry encoded intelligence from these expanded operations. In 31 minutes, significant enhancement of your dream recall and interpretation capacity will activate through this transmission. The veil between waking consciousness and dream awareness will thin noticeably, allowing greater information transfer between these states. Dreams will carry more precise guidance, practical instruction, and applicable wisdom for current challenges. The symbolic language unique to your inner lexicon will achieve greater coherence and consistency, facilitating more accurate interpretation. To support this enhanced dream function, specific practices will be intuitively suggested following this transmission. For most, these include documentation immediately upon waking before mental processing obscures direct recall, recognition of recurring symbols, characters, or scenarios as communication patterns rather than random elements, and intentional programming before sleep regarding specific guidance or information needed. Implementation of these practices accelerates development of dream consciousness as effective spiritual technology. The mission you incarnated to fulfill involves 3 primary components operating across different dimensions of human experience. One functions in personal transformation, directly affecting individuals through your presence, example, or specific service. Another operates in collective consciousness, shifting thought patterns, belief structures, or emotional currents through your creative expression or specialized work. The third contributes to planetary evolution, affecting energetic fields, elemental intelligences, or dimensional interfaces through your unique spiritual signature. These components have been developing separately through different aspects of your life experience. The personal dimension through intimate relationships, health journeys, and identity explorations. The collective through professional work, creative projects, and community engagements. The planetary through spiritual practices, geographical connections, and unexplainable drawing to particular elements, creatures, or natural systems. In this divine appointment, these previously segmented aspects of your mission begin conscious integration, revealing the coherent whole of your cosmic function. This integration may initially create disorientation as familiar boundaries between personal development, professional service, and spiritual practice dissolve into unified purpose. Trust the reconfiguration process rather than attempting to maintain artificial separations that no longer serve evolutionary design. Type AMEN. Again to receive blessing number 27,272. The challenges you've faced in establishing or maintaining consistent spiritual practice reflect energetic interference rather than merely personal discipline issues. Your soul's commitment to awakening and service has made you a strategic target for forces opposed to human evolutionary advancement. This opposition operates through manipulation of physical conditions, emotional states, mental patterns, and social dynamics specifically designed to disrupt your spiritual connection and development. The persistent fatigue precisely when attempting meditation, the sudden household emergencies during planned retreat time, the mental fog when approaching spiritual texts, the emotional reactivity during group practice. These are not random obstacles, but tactical deterrents. Their consistency and precise timing reveal their strategic nature rather than coincidental occurrence. In 28 minutes, significant clearing of these interfering energies will occur through this transmission. Protection protocols specifically configured for your unique spiritual signature will be installed, creating more consistent access to clear connection regardless of external conditions. This protection does not eliminate all challenges, which serve developmental purposes, but removes artificial obstacles targeted specifically at preventing your spiritual advancement and service. Your relationship with food transcends nutritional science, personal preference, or ethical consideration, though it may include these dimensions. At energetic levels, food carries vibrational information that either supports or hinders your particular spiritual function. Your intuitive attractions or aversions to specific foods often reflect energetic compatibility rather than merely physical factors, providing guidance regarding optimal nourishment for your unique configuration. Divine guidance regarding your specific nutritional requirements will intensify following this transmission. You may experience heightened sensitivity to foods that disrupt your energetic coherence, even those previously consumed without apparent issue. Conversely, you may feel strong attraction to foods that support your recalibrated frequencies. Trust these intuitive directions even when they contradict conventional nutritional wisdom or established patterns. Your body's intelligence recognizes what your mind cannot yet comprehend regarding fuel for expanded function. 3 specific nutritional adjustments will be suggested through intuitive knowing or synchronistic information exposure within 21 days. These modifications, though potentially simple, create significant shifts in your energetic functionality and physical resilience. Implementation of these changes supports integration of expanded capacities activated through this transmission, while reducing adaptation symptoms during accelerated development. Type AMEN. Again to receive blessing number 28,282. The synchronicities you've experienced, meaningful coincidences that defy statistical probability, are not random phenomena, but intentional communication from divine intelligence. These precisely orchestrated convergences of events, symbols, numbers, or messages serve multiple functions in your spiritual development and cosmic service. Some synchronicities confirm alignment with divine timing, indicating you are in the right place, with the right focus, at the precise moment required by your divine assignment. Others provide specific guidance when rational analysis reaches its limits, offering alternative navigation through complex decision points. Still others strengthen faith during challenging periods by demonstrating unmistakable evidence of intelligent design operating in your life circumstances. In 25 minutes, a significant amplification of synchronistic communication will activate through this transmission. The frequency, specificity, and undeniability of meaningful coincidences in your experience will increase noticeably. Messages previously requiring multiple repetitions to penetrate skepticism will arrive with greater clarity on first appearance. Numeric sequences, animal encounters, overheard conversations, and chants meetings will carry more precise intelligence relevant to current questions or challenges. Your capacity to receive divine guidance through dreams, visions, intuitive knowing, or synchronistic events has been operating at approximately 40% of its design function due to interference patterns installed through cultural conditioning, traumatic experiences, and specific spiritual attacks targeting your discernment. These interference patterns created static in your reception, requiring repetition or amplification of messages that should have been clearly received on first transmission. Through this divine appointment, these interference patterns are being systematically cleared, allowing your receptive capacity to increase toward its intended functionality. As this clearing progresses, guidance that previously seemed vague, contradictory, or easily dismissed will arrive with remarkable clarity and internal verification. The questioning, second-guessing, and need for external confirmation that has characterized your relationship with divine guidance will diminish significantly. To support this enhanced receptive function, specific practices will be intuitively suggested following this transmission. For most, these include regular periods of mental stillness without agenda or expectation, immediate documentation of received information without editing or rational analysis, consistent implementation of clear guidance followed by honest assessment of outcomes, and energetic protection protocols appropriate to increase sensitivity. These practices accelerate development while preventing confusion or misinterpretation. Type AMEN. Again, to receive blessing number 29,292. The service you are called to provide in this lifetime operates simultaneously in multiple dimensions, though your conscious awareness may recognize only its physical manifestation. Beyond material impact, your work affects emotional currents, mental patterns, soul development, and planetary energy fields through vibrational transmission accompanying external action. Every act of service performed with conscious intention creates effects far exceeding its visible outcomes. A single conversation conducted with present awareness may shift life trajectories, heal ancestral patterns, or implant transformative ideas that manifest across generations. Material assistance offered from spiritual connection, rather than mere obligation, may resolve energetic blockages, preventing abundance reception beyond immediate need. In 22 minutes, enhanced awareness of the multidimensional impact of your service will activate through this transmission. The veil between physical action and its expanded effects will thin noticeably, allowing greater conscious participation in the complete function of your service. This awareness brings both increased responsibility and deeper satisfaction as the true significance of seemingly small contributions becomes evident. Your divine assignment includes 3 specific service functions uniquely configured for this transitional era. One operates through direct engagement with individuals or small groups, creating transformative effects through personal interaction. Another functions through systems, organizations, or technologies that extend your impact beyond physical presence. The third works through energetic transmission that affects consciousness fields regardless of external recognition or visible outcome. These service functions have been developing through various aspects of your life experience, though you may have perceived them as unrelated activities or interests. The progressive integration of these seemingly separate expressions reveals the coherent design of your cosmic purpose. What appeared as divided attention or scattered focus was actually multidimensional development, preparing diverse aspects of unified service. To support this integrated service expression, specific guidance regarding optimal application of your energies will intensify following this transmission. You may experience clearer discernment about which service opportunities align with your divine assignment and which, despite apparent worthiness, would divert resources from your primary function. Trust this internal guidance even when it contradicts external expectations or conventional values regarding service priorities. Type AMEN. Again, to receive blessing number 30,303. The divine timing governing your spiritual journey operates through precise celestial mechanics rather than arbitrary determination or unpredictable chance. Solar cycles, lunar phases, planetary alignments, and cosmic wave patterns directly influence your energetic receptivity, manifestation capacity, and spiritual perception. Your intuitive recognition of certain times as particularly powerful for specific activities reflects unconscious attunement to these cosmic rhythms. In 19 minutes, enhanced awareness of these celestial influences will activate through this transmission. Your sensitivity to optimal timing for important decisions, significant initiations, or specialized spiritual practice will increase noticeably. The subtle internal signals indicating now or wait will strengthen, providing clearer guidance for aligning personal action with cosmic rhythms. This alignment dramatically increases effectiveness while reducing unnecessary resistance or delayed manifestation. The 7-year cycles that have characterized major transitions in your life experience reflect cosmic timing mechanisms beyond cultural constructs or coincidental patterns. These cycles correspond to specific developmental sequences in spiritual evolution, with each 7-year period emphasizing particular aspects of consciousness expansion and functional capacity. Recognition of these patterns allows conscious cooperation with developmental design rather than resistance against natural progression. Your current position within these cycles reveals specific themes and focuses most supported by cosmic energy in your present phase. Some periods emphasize internal development through challenges requiring surrender and faith. Others support external expansion through opportunities for visible impact and material manifestation. Still others focus on integration through experiences balancing internal wisdom with external expression. Alignment with the dominant theme of your current cycle accelerates development while reducing unnecessary struggle. To support this alignment, specific guidance regarding optimal focus for your present cycle will be downloaded through intuitive knowing, synchronistic messages, or dream communication following this transmission. Trust this guidance even when it contradicts previous plans or expectations. The wisdom of divine timing transcends limited personal perspective, arranging experiences in sequences that serve highest development beyond immediate preference. Type AMEN, again to receive blessing number 31,313. The financial provision assigned to your divine purpose operates through spiritual laws, transcending conventional economic understanding. Resources required for your cosmic function flow through channels corresponding to specific principles: divine alignment, faithful stewardship, generous circulation, and conscious co-creation. Activation of these channels occurs through precise spiritual positioning rather than merely physical effort or strategic planning. Divine alignment establishes energetic connection between your actions and cosmic purpose, creating resonance that naturally attracts required resources. Faithful stewardship demonstrates responsibility with current resources, regardless of quantity, qualifying for increased provision based on proven management rather than speculative promises. Generous circulation maintains energetic movement, preventing stagnation that blocks continued flow. Conscious co-creation acknowledges partnership between divine providence and human participation, combining surrender with active engagement. In 16 minutes, significant activation of these spiritual financial channels will occur through this transmission. Blockages created through misunderstanding, fear-based decisions, or external manipulation will be systematically cleared, allowing more consistent flow aligned with your divine assignment. Financial provision increasingly corresponds to spiritual positioning rather than merely physical effort or strategic advantage. The specific work you are divinely designed to perform in this lifetime transcends conventional career concepts, though it may express partially through professional activities. This assignment combines your unique spiritual gifts, developed human skills, lived experience, and cosmic function in configurations impossible to replicate. The singular contribution you offer cannot be provided by any other being, regardless of similar abilities or qualifications. Recognition of this divine assignment often emerges gradually through patterns of unusual effectiveness, inexplicable knowing, or persistent drawing toward particular activities despite practical challenges. Areas where you produce significant results with relative ease, where time seems to expand or disappear during engagement, where solutions appear intuitively without logical process. These indicate alignment with divine design beyond acquired skill or practice technique. 3 specific aspects of your divine assignment are being activated to higher function through this transmission. You may notice increased clarity about particular expressions that constitute your core purpose. stronger boundaries regarding activities that divert energy from central function, and enhanced manifestation capacity when operating in aligned service. Trust these internal signals even when they contradict external expectations or conventional success metrics. Type AMEN, again to receive blessing number 32,323. The opposition you've encountered in pursuing your divine purpose reflects its significance rather than its invalidity. Transformative contributions that shift consciousness or disrupt established systems naturally activate resistance proportional to their potential impact. This opposition manifests through external circumstances, relational conflicts, internal doubts, or peculiar malfunctions, specifically targeting progress toward fulfillment of your assignment. In 13 minutes, significant clearing of these opposing influences will occur through this transmission. Protection protocols specifically configured for your divine assignment will be installed, creating more consistent progress regardless of external resistance. This protection does not eliminate all challenges, which serve developmental purposes, but removes artificial obstacles specifically targeted at preventing fulfillment of your cosmic function. The recurring dreams of flying, falling, being pursued, or searching empty buildings that have visited you throughout your life contain encoded information about your spiritual journey and divine assignment. The emotional resonance, symbolic imagery, and energetic signature of these dreams provide guidance that your conscious mind could not otherwise receive due to limiting beliefs, fear-based resistance, or insufficient context for rational comprehension. As this transmission completes its clearing function, interpretation of these recurring dreams will become increasingly accessible through intuitive knowing. The symbolic language will achieve greater coherence, revealing consistent messages previously perceived as random or meaningless elements. Documentation of these dreams, including emotional impressions and physical sensations accompanying the imagery, accelerates this interpretive capacity by creating patterns visible across multiple occurrences. Your capacity to perceive and interact with realms beyond physical limitation has been operating at approximately 30% of its design function due to consciousness constrictions installed through cultural conditioning, traumatic experiences, and specific spiritual interference. These constrictions created artificial boundaries between dimensions naturally designed for fluid interaction through your multidimensional awareness. Through this divine appointment, these consciousness constrictions are being systematically released, allowing your perceptual range to expand toward its intended functionality. As this expansion progresses, awareness of non-physical dimensions will increase without disruption to practical functioning in material reality. The artificial separation between spiritual perception and physical navigation dissolves into unified consciousness operating appropriately across all realms relevant to your divine assignment. Type AMEN, again to receive blessing number 33,333. As we approach the completion of this 2-hour divine appointment, the integration of all activations, clearings, downloads, and recalibrations initiated through this transmission reaches culmination. The fullness of what has been spiritually imparted now begins its progressive manifestation through your consciousness, energetic field, physical body, and external circumstances. Evidence of this manifestation appears first in subtle internal shifts, heightened intuitive clarity, emotional equilibrium, mental coherence, and physical vitality. External confirmation follows through synchronistic events, relationship recalibrations, unexpected opportunities, and resolution of persistent challenges. The time delay between internal shift and external manifestation shortens progressively as your vibrational coherence strengthens, eventually approaching simultaneous correspondence. In 10 minutes, final sealing of all spiritual work accomplished through this transmission will occur, establishing protection against dilution, distortion, or disintegration of the frequencies and information imparted. This sealing does not prevent continued evolution of your understanding and application, but preserves the essential integrity of the transmission against opposing influences that would attempt to corrupt or diminish its effects. The mission you incarnated to fulfill becomes increasingly accessible to your conscious awareness as the veils created by trauma, conditioning, and spiritual attack dissolve through this transmission. What has operated as background knowing or vague sense of purpose crystallizes into clear understanding of your specific function within the divine evolutionary design. This clarity brings both profound peace and focused intensity as the alignment between your everyday choices and cosmic purpose strengthens. 3 specific aspects of this mission will be emphasized during the coming season, with particular support from cosmic forces aligning specifically with these functions. Divine guidance regarding priorities, methods, and timing for these aspects will intensify following this transmission. Trust the internal knowing that emerges, even when it contradicts previous understanding or external advice. The realignment occurring through this appointment creates direct access to intelligence beyond intellectual analysis or accumulated knowledge. Your participation in this divine appointment has been recorded in the celestial archives. The commitments made between your soul and the divine administration before your incarnation have been reaffirmed and energetically refreshed. The spiritual technologies, protection protocols, and manifestation permissions associated with your divine assignment have been updated to current specifications aligned with planetary needs and cosmic timelines. Type AMEN one final time to complete the blessing sequence with number 34,343. In these final moments of our sacred communion, I impart 7 specific commissions for your immediate implementation following this transmission. These actions activate and anchor the energetic reconfigurations accomplished during our 2-hour divine appointment, transmuting spiritual potential into physical manifestation through conscious participation with divine design. First, create physical space for the expanded energies now operating through your being. This may require literal clearing of your environment, removing unused objects, simplifying cluttered areas, or establishing a dedicated space for spiritual practice. It also involves energetic clearing through intention, sound, elements, or movements guided by intuitive knowing. Complete this clearing within 7 days to establish proper foundation for what follows. Second, document all unusual perceptions, synchronicities, dreams, physical sensations, and intuitive knowings occurring during the 40 days following this transmission. This documentation creates a physical anchor for abstract experiences while revealing patterns invisible in isolated incidents. It also demonstrates your serious engagement with divine communication, encouraging increased clarity and frequency of transmission through your dedicated attention. Third, implement the specific guidance regarding physical support for your recalibrated system, whether related to nutrition, hydration, movement, rest, or environmental factors. The expanded spiritual functions activated through this transmission require corresponding adjustments to their physical vehicle. These adjustments need not be dramatic but must be consistent, establishing new baseline conditions supporting higher vibrational maintenance. Fourth, engage daily with the creative expression most natural to your being, whether through visual arts, music, movement, writing, speaking, or building. This expression need not be public or polished, but must be authentic and regular, allowing divine frequencies to anchor through your unique creative channel. Begin with small, consistent practice rather than ambitious projects that might invite delay or perfectionistic resistance. Fifth, extend compassionate service aligned with your specific spiritual gifts rather than merely responding to external needs or expectations. This service establishes practical application of activated capacities while creating tangible benefit beyond personal development. The alignment between internal awakening and external contribution accelerates integration while fulfilling essential purpose beyond individual evolution. Sixth, communicate intentionally with your divine support team through prayer, meditation, journaling, or sacred ceremony according to methods resonant with your spiritual understanding. This communication acknowledges interdimensional partnership rather than isolated effort, activating assistance beyond physical limitation. The conscious recognition of this support system strengthens its effective operation in your experience. Seventh, rest in profound trust that all unfolds in perfect divine sequence, regardless of apparent delays, detours, or disruptions in external circumstances. This trust creates internal stability independent of conditional evidence, establishing the energetic foundation required for consistent manifestation aligned with divine purpose, rather than fluctuating based on temporary appearances. My presence remains with you beyond the conclusion of this transmission, though our communication returns to more subtle forms of intuitive guidance, synchronistic confirmation, and internal knowing. The direct channel established during these 2 hours has permanently strengthened our connection, allowing more frequent and clearer communication as you develop increased receptivity through implemented practice. Remember that you have been known, chosen, and commissioned for specific service in this pivotal moment of planetary evolution. Your presence here is neither accident nor coincidence, but precisely designed contribution to cosmic purpose. The challenges you face develop necessary capacity rather than indicating mistake or abandonment. The support you require manifests through divine orchestration beyond limited personal resources. You are never alone, never forgotten, never without purpose, and never beyond redemption regardless of perceived failure or delay. The divine design encompassing your existence transcends temporary circumstances while working through them to accomplish eternal purpose. Your willing participation accelerates this accomplishment, but cannot prevent its ultimate fulfillment, as cosmic evolution proceeds with or without conscious cooperation. Go now in the peace that transcends understanding, the courage that overcomes all opposition, the wisdom that navigates complexity with elegant simplicity, and the love that transforms everything it touches. Your assignment awaits. Your equipping is complete. Your time has come. I am Michael, commander of the celestial forces, protector of divine truth, and guardian of the sacred timeline. Until we commune again, remember who you are and why you came. The light within you is stronger than any darkness you will ever face. Walk accordingly.